Yeah, yeah. Yes. 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 For sure. Okay. Okay. Thank you. No, no, you're good.
All right, if I could have your attention. I want to welcome you to 1 Million Cups, and thank you guys for being here. Especially excited to have the culinary students here with us today to hear our program. So, welcome to 1 Million Cups, an opportunity for entrepreneurs to tell their story to our community. Today we have with us Shelly Olsen with Amazing Graze, and she's going to tell us all about her business and what it has taken to get it to where it is as a successful thriving business here in Ponca City. So help me welcome Shelly.
Yay! Well, thank you guys so much for having me. I am Shelly Olsen. I'm the owner of Amazing Graze, and I just am excited today to share with you a little bit about my journey, how we started the company, and it's been a little bit of a process to get to where we are, but I'm super excited to be able to share with you this morning. Thank you, Brooke, for reaching out and allowing me to come and speak. So I'm going to try to keep it to that 10 or 15 minute talking process. I am a school teacher by trade, so I tend to talk a lot. But I am going to try to keep it to that, and then hopefully I can answer any questions afterwards. I may not know the exact answer, but I'll try my very best, okay? So Amazing Graze, it is a play on words. I still have people searching for Amazing Grace, which I get that, okay? I grew up a preacher's kid in church all of my life. And I'm a singer. I'm a church singer. I sing at local events as well, too. That's just one of the things that has meant so much to me and is such a huge part of my life is the Lord. And so the graze part is, of course, the grazing tables that, I produce. And we were not this right at the beginning. We were actually called Cookie Now by Mrs. Olsen because I was teaching at that time period. And so when we became a commercial business, we changed the name just to allow that grazing part, which is such a huge part of our business, the catering side, the grazes. You guys see the cookies at the store and some small little grazing boxes, but the catering side is also such a huge thing that we do. So I'll let you go ahead and change the slide. This is as an example of one graze that we have done there at the Harvest Hall for a wedding. And so it's just such a fun way to present food. It's an affordable way to feed a lot of people, opposed to like a sit-down meal. And so right now it is a very popular trend, okay? So I've never made one table the same. In fact, I really do not pre-plan tables. I pre-plan what I'm going to buy, but I just kind of have this artistic way of looking at it once I start to set it up. So it's very hard to train someone to help me with that side of things. That is an obstacle we're trying to work through because we are getting big with just our responsibilities here. And so we're trying to train some people that can come in and help me work side by side with me. But it is something kind of difficult just because of the artistic way of looking at things, okay? So anyway, loved this graze, very fun. This is Cookie Now by Mrs. Olsen. This is one of our very first farmers market setups. So that's kind of how I got known at our local Ponca City Farmers Market. I set up with them for about 3 years. This is our first setup, and this is that last season setup. And I'm very proud of working with Farmers Market. They were very gracious with me. And I started this little cookie cup thing. It was $10 for a little mini dozen cookies. And people loved that. And that way they could, walk around with their little cookies in the cup and shop at the other vendors. And so that kind of got me on the map there with Ponca City Farmers Market. So very, very grateful. And that's my husband, Greg, by the way. This was a very, very important day to me. I kind of just have some little bullet points here to talk about of how this all came about. Okay, so I started back in May of 2022 selling cookies from my home. You can actually bake from your home under the cottage license rules. But you cannot sell time and temperature controlled items out of your home, like the grazing part of things, okay? So in the beginning, I did not realize that. I did not know that that was not provided under the cottage law rules, okay? So for about a year, I was doing it out of my home, selling little boxes and things like that, and realizing that I did not know that I could not do that out of my home, okay? Health department reached out to me after me posting some things online, and she was very gracious with me, but she said, I need you to take that part down. You cannot sell that at all out of your home. So anything that you have posted with grazes, you need to take it off of your website. At that point, this was in May of 2024, I believe. I had already booked several different events. One was the Mutt Gala. I had to cancel that event just due to the wrong licensing that I had. I had to go through the licensing procedures to be able to still work that side of the business. That was tough, okay? So I went through 3 months of trying to acquire a license, all right? So of course I'd already had my tax ID. I was legal with all of that, just did not realize that I could not do those time and temperature controlled things out of my home. So meat is a big thing, cheese is a big thing. And I get that, you know, you don't know what people's houses look like necessarily. The health department can come in and they can inspect your home. Yes, so sorry. They can inspect your home, but they don't, okay? So that is one tough thing about being a home baker. I would say just from buying from someone who is a home baker, you just don't know exactly what their kitchen looks like, okay? So I get that with the health department. But someone had told me about Ben Evans. Where are you, Ben? I'm blocking over here. And they were like, go talk to Ben Evans at Pioneer Tech. He's awesome. He will help you get started. And so that's what I did. He helped me with my LLC. And he just helped me to get legal there in that aspect. Then I was on a search for finding a commercial kitchen. So it took a couple of months. Caitlin Cowan at the Renfro Center, she was very gracious to, I had just gone in one day, spoke with her and said, listen, I'm looking for a commercial kitchen. Is there any way that you would be willing to open up this kitchen and let me work out of here and, you know, still provide charcuterie and grazes to our community? It was a very needed thing for our community. And so anyway, she's like, let me see what I can do. So the health department had to come in, they had to inspect her kitchen, and they were able to approve me to work there. But what was hard about working there is I would have to work in their time periods where they had availability for me to be able to use the kitchen. So I was still limited to what I could do. And like say I had taken, you know, a wedding on a Saturday. Well, they're not open on Saturdays. So it was still like budding with what I needed to do to be able to further my business, okay? So then I came back in and talked to Ben, and it's Janet, right? Yeah. And I was maybe going to try to do the incubator program here at Pioneer Tech. We did look at that for about a month's time. Amazing Graze is not the first business I've owned. I've owned two other women's clothing boutiques, one in Enid, and then another one here called the Attic Boutique. I owned that for about 5 years. So it was not my first rodeo with owning a business, but it is my first rodeo with owning on the culinary side or on the baking side, okay? So I'm a very driven person and independent person. And so as I was going through all of that process, the little store that used to be the Banana Crate had opened up, and it's just crazy how God worked it all out, because I had actually asked them if I could use their kitchen part-time, not knowing that they were thinking about pulling out and moving. And so it was just really a God thing. It just kind of landed in my lap. The property management called me and said, hey, you know, you had come and you had looked at this little space over here, but Banana Crate is moving out, and you know, we think it'd be just a great fit. And so anyway, I was able to move in there and rent that space. We remodeled that, and it took about 5 months to get it to where I wanted it to be. And then rest is history. That's where we are. But there are several different steps that you do have to go through in order to become a commercial business, commercial kitchen. So with the help of Ben, we got that good start with our LLC. Of course, tax ID, we passed a health department inspection, hired a CPA. I cannot stress enough about that because right now I'm working about 15-hour days. We start at 5 or 6 a.m. I've got my son Tristan with me back there, and he's with me helping me bake. He's becoming a better baker than I am, actually. So he bakes most of our cookies. But we start very early and we end at 6 or 7 o'clock at night. So it is a very long day. It's my first business where I've produced and sold items. Okay, so we've been doing this since May of last year. So I've lost 24 pounds, I will say that, okay? So, and my husband says I'm literally just working my butt off, and that is probably true. But anyway, I'm just trying to cram everything in here. So hire a CPA, because if you're making and producing your product and selling your product, you're not going to have time to really worry about the financial side of things. So I wanted to know that I was financially secure there. And then something also that I had done before we had a commercial space is I do teach classes here at Pioneer Tech. We do cookie classes and charcuterie classes, just the basic type of classes, just basic knowledge. So if you guys ever want to attend a class, I would love to have you come and attend. My goal is, though, to have a space where I do not have to come here to do that. I really am wanting to teach classes out of my own space. Right now I don't have the ability to do that. The space is way too small, and we tried it one time and it was too small. Okay, probably won't ever do that again in the space that I am right now. But Pioneer Tech has been super supportive of me. Proud and glad to be here today. But I just cannot say thank you enough. Ben, Janet, Pioneer Tech in general, just thank you guys so much for your support. It means the world to me, and it's really kind of helped me make connections with people. That's something that I love too about owning a business, is the connections that we can make just as a community. Okay. And then I did partner with Ricky's Market for about a year before we had our commercial space. She let me sell my cookies out of there, and so that was a neat thing. And then, of course, just in that 3-year time period before the commercial space, lots of craft fairs, lots of booth settings, just trying to get my name out there and make connections as much as I can. So there is just this process that you really have to go through. And I'm really glad that we waited 3 years before we made the leap, okay? So, and I was still teaching school at the time, just using the cookie business as a supplement to my income. So anyway, okay, here's classes at Pioneer Tech. Okay, this is my team. And I love my team. I'll try not to cry, but couldn't do what we do without this amazing team. I have 7 part-time employees and 1 full-time employee. And I know I've made reference to my son, but my son Tristan is back there. He's our full-time. Tristan left his job at Conoco and came to work for us for full-time, believing in what we're doing and hoping someday we can pass this little company down to him. So we're super excited about that. So yes, could not do what we do without an amazing team. I do have 2 bakers that help me out. One lady does nothing but cupcakes. So all of our cupcakes, little mini cakes, those are made from her. And then cookies, Tristan and I handle. And then we have, you know, some that just fill in here and there. Tristan is an artist, so a lot of our detailed cakes, I don't know if you guys can see this little cake right here. He does some of the more harder detailed cakes. We've got some Star Wars cookies coming up, and he's excited to make those. So, okay. All right, big thing about marketing your products is having the right kind of social media marketing outlet. My daughter is a local photographer in town, and she's helped me with a lot of the different backdrops. This is actually one of our cookies. That is one thing too. I will never advertise something that is not something that we've made. So I'm very big about that, because somebody will say, oh, did you make that? No, No, it's just a Pinterest picture or something. So I am pretty big about that, and that's another thing I'm trying to get better with, but a lot of times I will not post what we have weekly until we have everything made on Monday, and then I post on Facebook. And I do like this little array of, little board of what we have, and then that way you can see that is something that we have made, okay? So I'm very big about that, all right? Not just saying, oh, I'm gonna make, this for Easter, and it's just a Pinterest picture, and then you get the product and it's not at all what that picture looks like. So I feel like that is something that's huge. Advertise your product only, okay? So my daughter has helped me kind of make these cute little cookie backgrounds. We tell a story about the cookie. Our sugar cookie icing, for instance, it dates back in my husband's family to the 1940s, 1950s. And it's amazing. If you guys have not had any of our sugar cookies, they are really, really good. And then, so we just tell a little story, show a little picture, and it's on a cute little background. Okay. This also helps to make like a personal connection with people too. I have 3 cookies named after my 3 grandchildren. The colossal chocolate chip cookie is named after my grandson Cal. And then I have Claire's circus animal cookie because she came out breech and she's a little contortionist. And then I have one called Finley's Funfetti, and that's Tristan's little girl, and she's just always got a smile on her face. So that one is named after her. Okay. These are just some samples of things that we offer in our store. So we do like little cookie bouquets. We've got little pictures of charcuterie boxes that we've made. Of course, my amazing cupcake lady. We do cupcake cakes, so cakes that are designed, but that's like little cupcakes underneath there. And then one of our newest products that's been kind of blowing out on TikTok is our Dole Whip. So I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with Dole Whip, but Disney World sells it. We're huge Disney fans. It's just a really refreshing, like water-based ice cream product. Is so good. So we have several different flavors, watermelon, pineapple, cherry, lime, just a fun way to have something different offered in our community. So watch for the Dole Whip flavors this summer. Okay, so here's another thing that kind of got us on the map. The Ponca City Monthly featured us in the month of October. Did not know it was going to be this picture, walking through Walmart. See all these. That was humbling, okay? I don't normally look like this. I look very different than this when I work. And so it was humbling, but also I feel like it was just an opening to gaining more people, more followers, more customers. Chelsea McConnell did an ad on me with the Ponca City Monthly, and she did an amazing job. And I was just going to read one little thing that spoke to me that I read, but it says, what a blessing to be so exhausted from something that you prayed for. And so that is truly how I feel. It's a blessing. I am exhausted, but I still love it, and I still am happy that we can provide something different to our community. That was really the main thing. We travel a lot. We've been a lot of different places, and you always say, oh, that would be so cool if we had that in our town. Oh, that would be so cool. And so we just wanted to make it happen. Okay. And we're not there yet completely with what we're doing. I know we're not perfect, and we're still learning. We've really only been there since May of last year, so we're coming up on our 1st year anniversary. But we're still learning about all the different things, but this definitely helped us. And it was humbling, very humbling experience. So thank you guys, Ponca City Monthly. This is my family, my mom and dad. And I'm telling you, support system is huge. And my mom, she is 73, and she will come in and she'll work for me and do whatever I ask her to do. And then, of course, my daughter, she owns Taylor Ramey Photography here in town. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her. My first grandson, Cal, and Tristan and Emma and their little girl Finley. And then we've got Claire, who is now a little over a year, and Tristan and Emma are expecting another little boy named Ryder. So we're gonna have 2 boys and 2 girls, and our hearts are full. And my husband Greg. So that's our family. Okay, plans and goals. Continue to provide the very best product that we can for our community. Very big on giving a good product. I mean, that's what's going to make the people come back, right? Good product, good customer service. I feel like that is huge, okay? Making everyone feel like they've had some sort of connection as they come in. And when I talk to my employees, I try to help them understand that, okay? Suggest things, you know, hey, I know you're getting one cookie, but would you like to try our Dole Whip? We give out samples all the time of different cookies or Dole Whip ice cream or, you know, just anything to kind of make that connection, okay? Continue to look for ways that we can improve our services and including new products and new trends. And that's why we keep kind of changing like sandwiches, or we'll change, you know, different things that we offer. We're just constantly looking for new things that we can do in that small space. It's pretty full in there right now. But our goal is then to eventually expand, okay? So it's just going to take some time to look for the right place to be able to do that. And also, it's just got to be God's time, because I'm not willing to do it unless it is his time. And I feel like anytime you're opening a business, when things like start to fall into place and it just falls very smoothly, I feel like that's probably a good thing, and just run with it and go with it. If you're struggling with it and it's just problem after problem after problem, it might be something to think about and think that maybe this is not the right time, okay? So that is something that I've learned in my 51 years here on earth, okay? And then, so expanding would be a possibility, just looking for the right venue. Hire more employees to cover like expansion, and then also adding some extra hours. Right now, we're currently not open on Saturday and Sunday, and that's because a lot of times I'm catering an event on Saturday. So I wanted that day to be open. It's hard to that's probably been maybe one of my biggest obstacles, is trying to keep the store stocked and work an event, or keep the employees there, but also have employees help me, you know, at the different events. And so we're still working through some of that. Trying to get there. I feel like we're getting on a path of it, but it has kind of grown very fast. So it's not a bad problem to have. It's just, how do we navigate through it to where we're all not just, oh, I hate this job, or I hate doing, you know, what I'm doing. I don't want my employees to feel that way, and I don't want to feel that way. So we're still just like trying to navigate through some of that. And then ways to help support us, okay? I feel like a lot of you in our room, you know us already, you've been to our store, but obviously come to our store. We're located at 1904 Jane Street, and we love that little shopping area. And then we've got social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram. My son runs our TikTok for us. If you've ever seen any of those, he's the one dancing and going crazy in those videos. But he has done a very good job with TikTok. We had a little video go viral. He had taken some cookies to the train guys that run the train at Silver Dollar City, and they shared our post. And so that little video went viral for a little bit, and so it was pretty cool. And one of the train guys, he was like, "What town is that?" And Tristan kept telling him Ponca City, and he kept saying Ponca, Ponca, Ponca. That's what he said, Ponca, Ponca. And Tristan would say, "No, Ponca." And he goes, "I know, I guess I'm saying it wrong," you know. And so it was a funny little video, but just a creative way that he had, creative thoughts to take them some cookies, and that kind of got us on the map there. Tell a friend about us. If you like our product, please tell someone. And, you know, word of mouth is the best thing that we can do in supporting a business, any business. Shop local, okay, first. Always shop local first. And then, honestly, just follow us on the social media and share there. Okay. That's what I have to say this morning. So thank you guys for listening. I feel like it was whoa, but if I can answer any questions, I will definitely try. So anybody have any questions for me? Yes, ma'am. Banana Crate, yes. Where the Banana Crate used to be, yes, that's where we are. So corner of Hartford and Jane Street. We're just, that shopping center has a few on the front, and then you just turn and we're just there on the side. Yeah, good question. You guys are all culinary? Do you guys have dreams of like opening your own store someday, or just working as a chef somewhere? Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad that you guys came this morning. I love helping to like educate and inspire. So I hope that maybe it's been a little bit of an inspiration this morning. Okay.
Shelly,
Anything else? Yes.
what I hear is you're working 15 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
That is not something you're going to
Be able to sustain.
I mean, is there, expansion, or is there more hiring? I mean,
Yeah.
so I'm just wondering.
Yes. So that is my plan. I have 2 girls who work for me right now that are expecting. One is my daughter-in-law. So that's going to take them out for a while, starting in June. So it is my plan. Another obstacle that I do need to let down and let go of is being in control of everything. So I worry about, I have certain standards and certain ways that I like to do things. And so I can't just hire someone who I feel like, I don't trust. And I need to let that down just a little bit and let somebody else kind of take responsibility. But I am probably going to be looking for someone to kind of be my right-hand person. Tristan, I would say now is, but he takes care of a lot of the store side stuff. So stocking the cookies, doing things like that. But I need someone who can help me go to the grocery store, who can help me, post on Facebook, who can help work side by side with me at catering events.
The reason we asked is we have this great apprenticeship program and at Pioneer Tech, and where you would train a person who would be interested. I know. Anyway, I was just thinking about that, where you would train the person to be exactly who you want them to be, and so anyway, it just made me think.
That's good.
Yeah.
No, that's good. It's something that I would be open to. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Probably our most popular cookie is always going to be our chocolate chip. We have it every week on the lineup. Our other cookies vary through, it's kind of like the same, I don't know if you want to say kind of the same layout as crumble cookie. Okay, so they have certain ones that they keep in their lineup all the time, and then they have those that switch. And so, but we always have the chocolate chip cookie, and then our buttercream sugar cookie is becoming a staple too. But I would say that one. And which one do you think? S'mores. Have you guys had our s'mores cookie? It's amazing. So we have one this week too that's probably a close second to that, and that's the strawberry crunch. It's very good. It's made with golden Oreos and white chocolate chips, and then we put like strawberry extract, and we top it with a little golden Oreo crumble. It's so good. And that's another thing too that sets us apart. We're baking every morning, baking every day. Of course, we're not going to have the preservatives that some of the other big box companies are going to have. So everything's made fresh, and we take great pride in that. That's part of, just getting up early and working and doing that. So any other questions, guys? Yes.
Based off of what time of the year? Like, for example, Christmas, it would be like stuff like cranberry and whatnot.
We definitely have. So, we've only been in business for about 11 months, but we definitely are learning like that. Yes, there's going to be holiday cookies that are a little more popular during that time. We have a pumpkin white chocolate oatmeal cookie, and that was our best seller through the fall. So good. It's so good. Yes.
To add to that, what is the busiest time of the year for you?
So far right now, it has actually been the months of January and February, which was crazy to think because I really thought it would be November and December. But I feel like in those months, November and December, we're fighting like, when you get together as a family, everybody has that one thing that they make for Christmas. And so I feel like, people are making like their own goodies and things like that to take to Thanksgiving or to take to Christmas. But I really thought that would be the busiest. But we have seen a huge increase. And I don't know if it's just because we're getting more known, but January and February have been our best months so far. I don't know if you have any insight on that, Ben. I feel like with retail, it just kind of wavers here and there. And it does that with boutiques as well. We have our busier season. Maybe boutiques, tend to be more that November and December time period, which is my experience. So having this new baking experience, maybe that's not going to be the case with baked goods. That is a good question. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. Well, I want to thank Shelly for being here today and presenting.
Thank you, guys.
Then I'm going to present you with
Okay.
your 1 Million Cup Presenters Cup. So that is for
Awesome.
you to
Thank
take,
you
and then
so
we'll
much.
take some pictures.
Okay.
But I want to thank everybody for coming today. Our next 1 Million Cups will be on May 6th. Also, I don't have that speak presenter set up just yet, but we do have the following one, Mega Burger rescheduled. So the June date will be Mega Burger. But following the May one, we're going to be doing something a little different. We immediately following 1 Million Cups, we have a new business. The Oklahoma Tax Commission will be here, and it'll be a new business startup seminar. So if you're interested or know anybody that would be interested or is interested in starting a new business, that would be a great way to come hear from an entrepreneur and then go on to that class as well. So if you're interested, just let us know or look for it on the Pioneer Tech website. Okay. Thank you guys for coming today. I appreciate you and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks,
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
I'll take it, then I'll take it.
Okay. Awesome.